You turn me on like a light switch when you're moving your body round and round.
Sometimes bigger is not always better. Sometimes you're just a little bored of full size and gotta switch it up for something smaller that you can carry with you wherever you go. So is this 60% wireless, hot swappable RGB keyboard from Corsair be the one that you are looking for? Or is it just too little, too late? Here's a review on the Corsair K70 Pro Mini Wireless. Let's find out if it's your type. Wait, so the K70 Pro is 60%. So is the K65. But the K60 is full-sized? Huh? Now personally, I'm not a big fan of 60% keyboards. For me, 10 kilos is ideal, but the smallest I would actually go for is 65% because as a content creator, I just can't live without them dedicated arrow keys. Sometimes though, you don't want to create content, you just want to play games. And if the only games that you play are FPS titles like Valorant or Overwatch, where only a couple of keys are actually important during gameplay, you might not need all those extra keys. Also, having a smaller keyboard does give you more flexibility in terms of keyboard and mouse placement, potentially giving you better ergonomics while gaming. Anyways, let's get right into it. What? Kicking things off with the price, the K70 Pro Mini Wireless comes in at 819 ringgit or $179 US. That's actually pretty pricey, considering that the TKL version is currently on sale for $129 US. Of course, this 60% version is wireless while the 10 kilos version is not, but at a $50 premium, what other features does it pack? Is it really worth the price? In terms of aesthetics, the K70 Pro Mini Wireless comes all black with an aluminum plate on top of a plastic chassis. Being a 60% keyboard, like I said, you don't get dedicated arrow keys like a 65% keyboard would have. In terms of dimensions, it is 293mm by 109mm and it is 40mm thick, and it also weighs 640 grams. Out of the box, it comes with PBT double shot keycaps which has a nice texture to it, which I personally like. It also comes with a polycarbonate radiant spacebar that you can swap out with the regular one for more RGB action. Compared to the K65 Mini which we previously reviewed, this keyboard comes with a floating keycap design which lets the RGB shine bright like a diamond. Okay, maybe not so bright since this is a wireless keyboard after all. And speaking of RGB, this keyboard comes with per key programmable LEDs and a light edge, which I find to be kinda awkward because it's definitely not bright enough to light up your desk, and also because of the way it's designed, which is like tapered downwards, as you can see, a little bit like that. You can't really see it while you're using it. So yeah, everything is of course customizable with Corsair's IQ software. I gotta say, bar some questionable design choices regarding the RGB, the keyboard actually looks pretty good. The build quality is also solid thanks to that substantial aluminum plate on top. And well, the keyboard just has no flex whatsoever. Now let's talk about features. One big thing that Corsair seems to be marketing is the customizability of this keyboard. The biggest thing is of course them hot swappable switches, which is a first for Corsair. Off the shelf, this keyboard only comes with Cherry MX Red or Speed Silver switches. Both are linear with the same actuation force of 45 grams, though as we know, Speed Silver switches have a shorter actuation and travel distance. If you're a gamer, these two are pretty solid switches anyways. Here's a typing test for your reference. Overall, the key switches feel pretty smooth, though I did find a few that are a little bit scratchy, so Cherry needs to, well, level up their QC. It definitely sounds way better than the hollow sounding K65, I think mostly thanks to the change of the design and also the fact that this keyboard has a battery, being wireless and all, so that's a plus. Also, the stabilizers are slightly looped, so that does help reduce the rattling sound a little bit, but not completely. Fortunately, since this keyboard is hot swappable, you're not stuck with Cherry if you're into other fruits. Get it? Though, for your information, these are north-facing LEDs. For those of you who want to spice things up even further, this keyboard does come with a swappable accent bar that you can switch out for different colors. Of course, you can also swap out the keycaps, but I recommend that you only use the ones that are made specifically for the K70 Pro Mini, or else you'll have to pull out your manual every time you want to use any of the secondary functions, such as the media keys or switching between Bluetooth devices. Speaking of Bluetooth, let's talk about connectivity. Now, the K70 Pro Mini Wireless is obviously wireless, duh, but what are your options? First up, there's the USB adapter or dongle that gives you that 2.4 GHz Corsair slipstream wireless technology that allows your keyboard to enjoy very low latencies and up to 2000 Hz hyper polling rate, up to a 10-meter range with the USB dongle or adapter. This adapter is also able to connect up to 3 wireless compatible devices, for instance maybe a keyboard, mouse and headset, which helps free up USB ports on your devices. This is definitely my recommended connectivity option, especially for gamers. Then of course, secondly, we have the good old Bluetooth. That's pretty nifty to have if you have it paired up with multiple devices, for instance your phone, laptop and such. You can even switch between 3 paired devices with hotkeys right here on the keyboard itself. However, one thing to note is that it is running on Bluetooth 4.2, which is quite outdated in 2022. While Corsair claims it to be low latency, it still has more latency than say Bluetooth 5.0. Lastly, you can also wire it up via the included braided USB-C cable, which facilitates both charging and wired mode for those who want to get access to that crazy 8000 Hz hyper polling rate. Like I mentioned before, unless you type faster than say 80 words per minute or use switches that have a shorter actuation distance, that's actually not gonna matter that much on this keyboard. Next up, we have battery life. Now, Corsair says that you are able to sail around, get it, for at least 32 hours with RGB on and about 200 hours without backlighting before you need to plug it in for a charge. In our experience, with RGB turned up to the max, we were able to get about 24 hours out of a single charge. Not too bad, but not great either. Though I must say that you definitely won't have any issues reading the font even without backlighting because of how it's designed. So that's good, I guess. In terms of user experience, I find the K70 Pro Mini to be pretty great. With ample connectivity options, I can switch between devices very easily. Also, it has a dedicated slot right here for you to keep the USB dongle when not in use, and a dedicated on-off switch that is actually very responsive. As you can see, I turn it off right now. One click, and it's on less than a second. And the enter button will also give you a visual indicator of the battery level right off the bat. Like I mentioned before, while this keyboard definitely supports 8000 Hz hyper polling rate in wired mode, going wireless with the USB adapter is my preferred choice when gaming, especially with these Cherry MX red switches. If you want to know more about that 8000 Hz hyper polling rate or Corsair Axon, check out our Your Mother Notage video that we did on it a while back. Anyways, gaming on this keyboard feels very responsive in both wired and also wireless mode. I wouldn't go Bluetooth unless you're playing non-competitive titles like maybe RPG and stuff like that. Everything works well and the whole IQ experience is actually getting better with each update. So yeah, like I said, pretty great. I'm liking it. To recap, here are the pros, mess, and cons of this Corsair K70 Pro Mini Wireless keyboard. I give this Corsair K70 Mini Wireless keyboard a hashtag cheap buy 7.5 out of 10. Okay, so I gave the K65 Mini an 8 out of 10, while this gets a 7.5 out of 10. Why? Even though both these keyboards are 60%, which I think is still pretty niche compared to say maybe 65%. Yes, it does have more features, a better build quality and typing experience, also hot swappable switches, which is haha, but in my opinion, $179 or 819 ringgit is actually pretty hard to justify, especially in 2022, where you have a lot more options in the market in terms of compact gaming keyboards. I think if this keyboard was like $20-$30 cheaper, or if it came in say like 2021, I would have rated it higher. So if you're in the market for a compact wireless keyboard with a lot of connectivity options, hot swappable switches, and also you don't care about, directional keys, then maybe you should consider this chili padi of a keyboard. If not, and if you're still a fan of Corsair, maybe check out that K65 Mini because it's a lot cheaper, or even better yet, the K70 RGB TKL for $50 less. That's 200 ringgit. You know how many eggs you can buy with that? And that is everything I have to say about the K70 Pro Mini Wireless from Corsair. If you have any comments or any questions regarding this keyboard, then feel free to leave a comment down below. If you thought this video was helpful, don't forget to like and share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell like this. And also don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and also TikTok to see more shenanigans from the Mob House crew and me. Again, my name is Shane from Mob House, and I will see you in the next one. Now, let you see the keyboard. See the keyboard? In this week's comment session, we have the Zowie compilation review. We got the XL2411K lah, the XL2546K lah, the XL2746K lah. Which one's the best for FPS players? Starting with YouTube, Damon Fong says, Taiwan #1. No man, Malaysia #1. Okay lah, same with Taiwan lah. Yui Senpai says, nice. Love the humor. Abang payung more please. Of course, for you, I every day will go and beli satu payung. Long live China. Wow, I don't want to reply your comment. I like this video so much, I watch again. Okay, I like back your comment. Shadow Match says he's trying to buy a 1440p monitor for gaming and coding, but he's divided between the EX2780Q and the AOC CQ27G2U. I think if you got the money, buy the VenQ. If you want to save some money, buy the AOC. Now I give some face to Ezwan Rasman on Facebook, and he says it's tempting, really making his iman rumbling for a new monitor. Hey bro, I thought that time is bulan puasa. Why you simply go and tergugat iman? Cannot, buy lah. Saya izinkan.